It's not an understatement to say that this year has been historic. And just hours ago, the governor ended some of the state's water restrictions due to all of the rain and snow that we have experienced just since January. And now there's ongoing flooding, even as the cleanup continues and more storms are on the horizon. And this is what things look like in the Central Valley right now. Our meteorologist, Brendan Minchef, just got off the phone with the state's water experts today, who told him that we should expect flooding like this in parts of the Tulare Basin for quite a while. And this is because the Southern Sierra has seen nearly 3 years worth of snow this wet season. And all of this water will eventually head north and out through the San Francisco Bay. And then the Tahoe area is seeing its second snowiest year on record. And there's even more snow on the way early next week. Palisades Tahoe, they're now saying that they're staying open until July 4th for a rare summer skiing. And in the mountains, it's neighbors helping neighbors clear trees from homes that now need to be repaired. Thousands of Californians have also learned how to live for power without days, even weeks at a time. So in tonight's main point, we're focusing in on the foothills of Nevada County, where people have been trapped in their homes for more than a week during these storms in March. Some no longer want to live there. Others are trying to figure out what to do differently for the next time. Our Devin Truby spent the day along Cedar View Road, just north of downtown Nevada City, to hear from residents as well as the county.
We first introduced you to Jennifer Heatherman on March 3rd, when her family was faced with an impossible situation: snowshoe a mile to town or stay put and hope they didn't run out of fuel.
We are going to have to evacuate to a neighbor's home that has more propane than us.
Fast forward to today, 20 days later, they're in their neighborhood's private drive, finally clear, but what's left behind paints a picture. Jennifer, who's former military, calls it a war zone.
100% our only access. We have emergency roads. I shouldn't even call them roads. We have emergency access.
All the landowners contribute an annual fee, but in the storms, they did the cleanup themselves, or else they wouldn't be able to get their vital propane deliveries.
That was the community. That was us. We just got out there with the chainsaws, cut them up as best we could, and used the tractors to move them as best we could out of the way so that we could hire a private plow company to come and plow the roads.
How are you feeling even now about your safety here in these situations?
I'm not gonna lie, very scared with the fact that these kind of weather events are going to start becoming more and more common with climate change. It's scary to know that our one road, our one access to healthcare, especially having a small child and one on the way, it is very scary. I don't necessarily think that our local agencies were prepared to handle the massive amount of chaos.
Were you happy with the response you got from the county, the propane companies, PG&E?
I wouldn't say happy.
We took that to Nevada County Office of Emergency Services.
What solutions do you have to offer residents right now?
We have our free building permit fee waiver process. It also has expedited review for those projects for the customers and residents that experience damage. We have property tax relief, so if you experience more than $10,000 in damage, you can work with our tax collector's office to get tax relief.
You declared the state of emergency. How do you think that has helped you?
I think this has helped a lot, and that was from lessons learned from last year. We opened our emergency operations center early, we declared a local emergency early, and we were communicating with FEMA and Cal OES partners early. From the lessons learned from last year, we had contractors on staff.
I think that's a great answer. I think that's a great place to start.
And Devin Truby joins us now. This isn't the only natural disaster that Nevada County is likely to face, right, Devin?
Absolutely, Alex. Residents need these answers now because in about 3 months, we'll be dealing with the same thing. Downed power lines, fallen trees, evacuation routes need to be cleared, but instead of snow, it'll be fire season, and that's a shorter window for the county to try and rebuild on what you're seeing here. So far, $20 million in damage, and it's why you heard what Jennifer said early. They're considering moving, and they've already lost 2 neighbors because the situation was just too scary for them. But the county is here to provide those answers to the community. Alex.
Thank you, Devin. and even more rain and snow are on the way. We're tracking that later in the show. And these storms, I mean, our drought is looking a lot better because of all of these storms. And nearly 2 years ago, Governor Newsom told Californians to cut their water use by 15% by doing things like limiting how much water we use on our lawns. And now that apparently doesn't matter so much anymore. The governor announced today that he is easing rules on local water agencies, and Californians, we did our part to save water for some of those months. So take a look at this. The state's water savings target was 15%. In December, Californians cut back on water use by 17%. And January's water savings amounted to nearly 10%. Looking pretty good. Okay, and the weather isn't the only thing that people are talking about today. In tonight's Talking Points, a lot is being said about a pastor and LGBT youth leader out in Loomis. And it's a story that we first covered here on To The Point after Project Veritas recorded the pastor without his knowledge. Following the video's release, Roseville Area High School said that they contacted police and CPS advising them of the situation. And so the room, I mean, it was packed at last night's Roseville Joint Union High School District board meeting to talk about the issue during public comment, but a yelling match erupted at the meeting, bringing it to an abrupt end. The pastor's lawyer spoke to us about the issue.
Although we've heard that it's not anti-LGBTQ, what's interesting is that they seem to draw the conclusion that Pastor Casey's a pedophile just because he's gay.
In a statement read at last night's meeting, the pastor says that he's received death threats. People also showed up outside his house threatening him. A school shooting reported today in Stockton appears to be a prank. The school district says that reports that there was a shooting at Cesar Chavez High School are not credible. The school was put on lockdown during that investigation. And we want to take a moment to talk about cracked windshields in the Roseville area. We've been hearing that people driving this stretch near Highway 65 and Interstate 80 are getting cracks in their windshield. And I mean, you can hear it for yourself from Susan Williams Woody talking about her husband's car here.
So he was merging onto 80, and right before the Atlantic off-ramp, his truck was hit by what we assume is a rock, something that, came very fast at his car, and it cracked his windshield.
And here's a look at the damage. Susan says that she posted her story on Facebook and dozens of people commented saying that also happened to me. So we took people's concerns straight to Caltrans, who maintain these highways. And Caltrans tells us that there is a section of I80 with loose gravel leading to an increase of cracked windows. So yes, definitely be careful out there. Caltrans tells us, quote, "We are sweeping it," meaning I-80, multiple times a day, but we can't repave the area in winter weather conditions. They hope to get to the root of the problem next month. You can read their full response on abc10.com/tothepoint. After the break, merchandise locked up in your neighborhood stores. We're asking why the deodorant is more difficult to get to over things like big screen TVs. We'll have more coming up. On this show, you already know we are here to help you get some answers and listen to your points. And this week we asked, due to retail theft, have you seen anything change where you shop? This was the department store down the street from ABC 10. Cases full of essentials are locked up behind glass. And we're not the only ones who are seeing this. One person wrote in and told us, "I stopped shopping at Walmart. There are many reasons to not shop there, but locking up the products was the last straw." Another person wrote into us saying, in part, "I see they lock up toothpaste, but kind of weird being it's all under $10 and there's tons of way pricier items not being locked up." So we took that concern to Target. They tell us in a statement saying, quote, "At Target, we take a multi-layered approach to combating theft. This includes in-store technology, training for store leaders and security team members, and partnerships with law enforcement agencies, as well as retail trade associations. On a limited basis, we also employ theft deterrent merchandising strategies, such as locking cases for categories that are prone to theft. While we don't share specifics on these strategies, these decisions are generally made at a local level. And I want to be transparent here because retail theft is something that I have been looking at very closely over the last several months. In fact, I was just at an event this afternoon where multiple chambers of commerce, legislators, and law enforcement agencies all got together to talk about organized retail theft. I spent some time with Roseville Police Chief Troy Bergstrom, who told me that retail theft in Roseville is up by about 94%. And this is something that I'm continuing to follow. So if organized retail theft has impacted you as a business owner or even as a consumer, please reach out to me. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know how it's impacted you or even what it's cost you. All right, after the break, wearing pink and building houses, where To The Point was today and how it's helping local home ownership. Okay, 18 local families are going through a life-changing process. They are months away from receiving their very own home after Habitat for Humanity of Greater Sacramento selected them to move into the biggest build that they've ever done. And it wouldn't be possible without the community's help. In fact, a team from ABC 10 and To The Point all painted homes today, and our Rebecca Hobbecker shows us why this all matters.
And I just want to... Early Friday morning, dozens of volunteers, including a team from ABC 10, gathered for instructions. All throughout March, Women's History Month, volunteers have been helping Habitat for Humanity of Greater Sacramento build homes for families in need. Before we begin our build day, our task this day, help Habitat paint houses at its Cornerstone project, its largest undertaking yet, where 18 homes will change the lives of 18 local families.
It's really touching what it means to these families to get these homes.
Site Supervisor Terry Harden has worked with Habitat for the better part of 2 decades.
Each one of our families have their own story to tell, and what it took to get where they are right now, where they came from. Like the family that's getting this home right here, it's a family of 5 that are living in a 1-bedroom apartment. They also have a son with autism. So for this family to get this home right here, it's like winning the lottery almost. They'll have a 0 interest equivalent loan. They'll own this home right here. Super appreciative.
Each family receiving one of these homes has to put in 500 hours of so-called sweat equity, where they're literally standing alongside volunteers and staff building their own home. This is Monique. She's a single mother of 2. She works full-time at an oral surgery office, and when all is said and done, this home is going to belong to her and her kids. In order to qualify for a Habitat home, a family must make 30 to 80% of the area median income.
They have to be living in substandard housing, overcrowded conditions, or paying too much for rent. That's how they qualify. And then there's a pretty strict process in order to be accepted into the program.
For those who are accepted, it's life-changing.
Most of our families are living in overcrowded conditions, and so when they get a house like this, although there's not a lot of square footage, it's a lot of special personal space for the kids. A lot of these homeowners, you keep in touch with them over the years, and I've watched these families, raise their kids, and they're able to send them to college.
Habitat for Humanity of Greater Sacramento is now accepting new applications for home ownership through March 31st. And we do have more information on abc10.com/links. Well, let's go ahead and get over to meteorologist Carly Gomez. Carly, I'm doing my happy dance because we have a great weekend coming up.
Keep up that happy dance. It is going to be a beautiful sunny weekend, but a little chilly, so you're going to get that workout in to keep warm. We do have high pressure in place, and that's keeping us at least for the most part clear skies. We get a few clouds here and there, but otherwise you're seeing the jet stream target Northern California. That's bringing that cold Arctic air. So the morning lows, they're looking right around 28 to 36 degrees. Yeah, very chilly there, with a frost advisory in effect until Sunday 9 a.m. from Redding all the way down to about Merced or so. So this could cause damage to budding trees and also harm outdoor vegetation. You'll want to bring in those special plants indoors, or at least maybe cover them just a bit. Let's look at the winds. That's also going to affect you for tomorrow, meaning there's a lot of plants out there growing, a lot of wild mustard weed. It's been beautiful, but with these winds, we're going to start to feel the effects. Allergies are back, and they're going to probably affect you as you move through your weekend. 15 to 20 mile-per-hour winds, and then moving into Sunday, a little bit breezy, not too bad. Before the big system arrives, Monday night into Tuesday, we'll see those winds really picking up again. Looking at Sunday, you start getting just a little bit of high elevation snowfall, just light flurries there, but then the big system coming in overnight, Monday into Tuesday, heavy rain, and that system is tapping into an atmospheric river that'll be pulled up and in. That's also going to create very similar effects to what we saw this week on Tuesday, where we saw damaging winds, we saw a lot of rain, we saw a lot of snowfall. All of that may be returning once again. Deja vu situation for us on the same exact day as well on a Tuesday. After that, mostly sunny conditions, and we're looking pretty nice for the forecast right after that. The 10-day forecast does bring us that rain Tuesday, Wednesday with thunderstorm chances again Wednesday afternoon, then sunshine for the rest of the week into next weekend.
Thanks, Carly. We've been hearing from many of you at home, specifically from people in West Roseville. There is a major industrial park being proposed, and, well, we're looking into it on Monday on To The Point. Take a look.
Can you imagine that industrial thing? The noise already there, the light.
How did you guys find out that there was even a proposed project?
Our neighbors came and dropped a flyer off, so we were interested to find out more about it. The traffic gets backed up. You know, you see the kids coming in and out, with the traffic just with us, without even an industrial park, because people are moving into the neighborhood. So it's gonna be even worse later on.
As a new homeowner there, I feel kind of blindsided by this announcement and the rezoning that's going on with that area. I'm not too keen on this idea of having warehousing and a trucking center as almost my backyard. Only residents within a 300-foot radius have been informed, formally with a little flyer in the mail that this was actually going to happen.
It is simply the wrong location for this development. If you look at the size and scale, it's equivalent to 16 Costco buildings. This is a mega industrial park.
You can catch that story at 6:30 on Monday night. And coming up after the break, John Bartel is hitting the back roads where elephant seals are on display. It's Friday, so you already know John Bartel's getting us ready for the weekend, taking us on the back roads. And tonight we head to the Central Coast to check out the elephant seals. Take a look.
The view from Hearst Castle is absolutely breathtaking. The San Simeon coastline and rolling hills is one of the most peaceful locations along Highway 1 in the Central Coast. There are, however, some very noisy neighbors. They're very vocal animals.
Exactly. When I come out here, I like to give lots of space for the elephant seals to say what they need to say. They're actually the star of the show anytime you come out to the rookery.
The reason that state park interpreter Robin Chase likes to give these guys some space is because the conversation can get very heated and sometimes violent.
So you just heard a bellowing kind of call from one of our alpha males on the beach. He's surrounded by your cackling females.
These noisy bellows and cackles from the Piedras Blancas elephant seals are at their loudest from December to March, which is birthing and mating season. And alpha elephant seal males get very jealous.
They'll make the vocalization call. That's your first warning. If you do not move out of the way, the chase begins.
When Robin says chase, it's more like a sluggish gallop. The 4,000-pound males are protecting a harem of about 40 females who are nursing their pups in an area called a rookery.
She's gonna nurse around the clock, and the pup's gonna get huge. It's gonna go from about 80 pounds to about 300 pounds in a month. Basically a ball of blubber on the beach.
A rookery is a safe beach that elephant seals return to every year, and the Piedras Blancas rookery is one of just a handful of rookeries left in the world.
People were actually hunting whales and elephant seals for their blubber. They were turning it into oil.
During the early 1800s, an untold amount of elephant seals were killed so their fat could be used as fuel in lamps and candles.
Sadly, the elephant seal population declined to, less than 100 animals.
For many years, elephant seals were thought to be extinct until researchers found a small group of them living off an island in Mexico.
The animals rebounded very well. They're all descendants of less than 100 animals.
The elephant seal is one of California's greatest conservation stories, allowing researchers to learn all sorts of important and odd facts about the species.
What is going on with their nose, their schnoz?
It's like a secondary characteristic, kind of like a man's beard, like a little scruff on your face.
From the Piedras Blancas Elephant Seal Rookery in San Simeon, I'm John Bartel. Hope to see you on the back roads.
Too cute, too cute. All right, before we go, I want to mention again that we are looking into retail theft. So if you have been impacted by it as a consumer or a business owner, please reach out to us. You have that QR code, on your screen right here. You can always email us or text us too. We want to hear from you. Hope you have a great night. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. Get out and enjoy it. Have fun. I'll see you on Monday. Hey, it's Alex. Just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I really love hearing from everyone, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. Reach out to me on Facebook at AlexBellTV, or you can email me at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send me a text message at 916-321-3310.